Hello! Welcome to the very first podcast episode of our Ellie Talks, the podcast to inspire, inform, and connect the sustainable textile world. My name is Julie Litaar. I'm founder of Ariadne Innovation, and Ariadne Innovation is the digital tech startup that aims to inspire, inform, connect on the sustainable textiles world. Today we will connect with Aurélie Maes, who is our very first special podcast guest and who is Purchase and Sales Manager at Maes Mattress Ticking. Aurélie, very welcome today. Happy to have you here. Aurélie, today's topic will be about family businesses in the textile industry. So if you're ready for it, you had or had not had some coffee today, because I remember that you don't drink any coffee. But I do think that you're ready to get started.
Yes.
So Aurélie, we have known each other for many, many years. I will not share all the details about that period. But please, can you introduce yourself to the audience today? Who is Aurélie Maes and what is Maes Mattress Ticking?
So I'm Aurélie. I live in Belgium, of course. I have 3 children. They're quite fun and also quite energetic. I'm married to my biggest support, William. He's also in the textile business and in textile recycling. And so we're quite a busy family, but I'm at a happy place. And
You're here today at the Quindel Studio, so it's a very, very happy place to be here today. As I already introduced, so today will be about family businesses in the textile industry, how to implement change in a more traditional industry, traditional businesses. So as myself, I think we will have a lot to talk about, because for the listeners who don't know yet, I'm indeed founder of Ariadne Innovation, but today I'm also CEO and third generation at our family business European Spinning Group, so I can relate a little bit. ESG was founded by my grandfather and is active in the production of textile yarns. So this is also how we know each other. But I myself am third generation, but Aurélie, if I'm correct, you're the fourth generation already. That's amazing. Can you maybe tell us some more about your family history?
Yes, so indeed my great-grandfather was working in a company, textile company, and he did an MBO, he bought the company. At that time it was a textile company doing all kinds of textiles, curtains, cloths, mattress ticking, a bit of everything. And then during the years, people could afford more and more luxurious stuff, such as a decent bed. And then in the 60s we specialized in mattress ticking. Then my grandfather and my grandmother were leading the company. And then in 1906, my father bought the company. And we mainly did weaving. And then since 97, we also start to knit. That's also been a change in evolution, because beds were able to go up, to go down. So a knitted fabric is more elastic than a woven fabric. So that's why it's quite a modern technology. Things change, yeah. And my father is still so the CEO and the owner of the company. And I also have a brother active in the company, and he's in charge of production. So that's mainly the things we do. So we do the woven side, the knitted parts, but we are vertically integrated as well. So we color, we dye our yarns, we do the preparation of the beams, we also do the treatment of the fabrics. So yeah, the whole range. And everything is done in Belgium, here close to Kortrijk in Zwevegem.
We know that very well.
Yeah, we're close by. So we buy yarn, so also from your company as well, and we then produce it, and then we sell rolls of fabrics. And I think the export is about 98% of export, mainly in Western Europe and Northern America. And we work with 130 people, something like that, and we work in 3 shifts, so morning, afternoon and the night shift.
Okay, interesting. Maybe just for the listeners who don't know the term mattress ticking, can you maybe enlighten us a little bit about the construction of a mattress? For those interested, we already have a very interesting Ellie talk on the circularity in the mattress industry. We will talk about that later. But can you maybe just explain, as I'm a 5-year-old, what mattress ticking is?
Yeah. So ticking is a typical term in the sector, and ticking is fabric to put around the mattress. That can be woven or knitted fabrics. So we buy bobbins that can be viscose, cotton, polyester, wool, flax, whatever yarn. We process it, so by weaving and knitting, and then the whole vertical integrated other steps that can be done. And then we sell the rolls, the fabric is put on the rolls, and we send it to our clients and other people who make mattresses, such as Rivor, who was your host or your guest some weeks ago at Ellie Talks. So we really make B2B fabrics, so you cannot find it in the shops or anything. You can find our fabrics in the shop, but it's already put around a mattress.
It's confections.
And
Okay, thank you for that insight. Now I want to talk a little bit, focus on the topic of really starting in a family business. I mean, if you're really a child in a family who has an own family business, for most people it's some kind of given fact that you will end up in the family business yourself. For me personally, when I graduated from university, I was not planning of starting in the family business yet. So I had some about 5 years of experience in different companies, not textile related, but then I think the heart went where it had to go. But how was it for you? Did you gain any experience elsewhere, or did you start immediately in the company? How did that go after you graduated?
Well, a bit similar.
Did you graduate?
I did. I graduate fluently. No, I have my degree. I went to law school, and I like to study it, but I didn't want to do it professionally. Yes. But it's nice time. The student time, you get to know a lot of people, your network grows. So
we know each other from Leuven, some small insight for those who do not know. So we know each other from.
So it's an important network. It's proven today.
Indeed, we're still here already.
So indeed, it was a bit similar to your story. I wasn't supposed to come to the company, to enter the company. My brothers were active in the company, so we were with 4 children. So we were already quite busy with the family in the company, and I started to work elsewhere. And my opinion was always, okay, if you want me in the company, I will come with pleasure to work in the company. But if there's no place for me, for whatever reason, no worries, I will find my own path. But now, looking back, I'm very happy I gained experience elsewhere. For me, it's very valuable to be just treated like a normal employee, to be one of the guys. But to be one of the guys is important to learn to get to know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, to get honest feedback, to defend your cases. Because if you enter a company as a son or a daughter, if you want to or you don't want to, you will be treated in a different way. So you won't know everything, you won't always get the honest feedback. So it's important to know yourself and to work somewhere else, to build your case, to take up responsibility. It's a valuable lesson for me to work elsewhere.
Yeah. So does that mean that for maybe your own children in the future, or maybe other young people starting at looking at their family businesses or not, would you advise them then to first, get some experience elsewhere? I always say you fill your backpack with experience. Yeah.
I would recommend that personally, but I know it's not always possible. But if it is, also you learn other things from other organizations and things you can take with you, and you can compare. Oh, we do that in a good way. That could be done better. Otherwise, you cannot know what should be done better, or you don't have something to compare with it. I would suggest, I would recommend it. So, but that's a personal opinion, of course.
Yes, I can agree. Let's just zoom in a little bit about the industry we're in. Textile business. I think it's one of the oldest in Flanders. We're here today in Kortrijk, next to the Leie, the Golden River. A lot of it is linked to the flax carpet industry. But you still feel that it's an unknown industry by a lot of people, or people react often to me. I did not know that there was still a textile industry in Belgium or in Europe. So, what do you like personally about working in this industry? Do you have a feeling, any positive points, misconceptions you feel that you would like to point out to our audience today?
For me, I think that the biggest misconception is people think it's an old-fashioned, it's an old industry, so it must be old-fashioned. But that's not at all the case. We try to open the company as much as possible for people to visit, and then they all get surprised. Whoa, it's quite modern here. Yes, of course it's modern here. So I think that is the most misconception, I mean, the wrong idea people have of our industry. And I have to say, what I see with myself, but also with colleagues, once you enter the textile world, you don't want to leave it anymore. Because it's technical, but at the same time, aesthetics is quite important. So it's a really nice balance between both. It's a vivid material. So every day is a new day. You learn new days. My father is 44 years in the company, and he still learns new things. It's not a exact science. It's so different every day, and it's really a challenge, but a positive challenge. Really a nice way to work with a product as textile.
Yeah. I totally agree, and we are modern because we as Ariadne Innovation are doing podcasts. So this is definitely a very modern way of influencing the textile industry. You work as a purchasing and a sales manager. Can you maybe talk about how you started in this role? Did you start there immediately, or did you have some trajectory when you started in the company?
Well, the job I entered was the purchasing and assisting my father. That was the starting point. It gave me time also to get to know the textiles, because when I started purchasing the yarns, it was like, whoa, there's a whole new vocabulary, a whole new dictionary with the yarns, the names of the yarns, the thickness of the yarns. It's a whole new vocabulary. It's a whole new word, a whole new words I have to learn, and it's a whole new world. So that got me some time to get to know everything. And then step by step, I think like a typical in a family company, you start to see where you can be of use, fill in the gaps. This could be done. Okay, I will do this. Oh, this could be an opportunity. I will do this. I think that's the nicest thing. There are no boundaries. If you think it's interesting and it's good for a company, you just can do it. You're not on an island. This is your job. So it's an evolution the whole time.
Yes. That's nice to hear. Maybe we can also talk a little bit about the generations in our sector, because what you hear a lot is that new generations also bring new insights to the company. I think textiles 30, 40 years ago was not what it was today. We already briefly talked about it. Do you experience a difference in vision between the previous generations in the company, between you and your father, for instance? Do you have a different touch point or vision that you find important, which might change with the generations? Can you share something about that?
I see there are different ideas or things that have been changing, but in our company, everybody has got a big responsibility and can take a lot of initiative. So if you say, look, I think this is a good opportunity for us, if you can motivate it, the reason why, you can do it. So it's there are no boundaries. My father knows the world is changing, so he understands, but it's not. He will not do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He will help us and give us the chances to do it. But we get all opportunities we want to.
And would he participate in a podcast?
Before I was coming to today, I said I'm in a podcast, and I asked, "Do you know what a podcast is?" Just to check. And but he knew. But entering a podcast, no, I don't think he will do. You can do that. That's okay.
My mother is a huge fan of podcasts, so she's already longing to hear this episode. She's very much fan of Ariadne Innovation. Okay, can you maybe? So you talked about your brother being in the company. He's in production responsible. How do you work together? Are you complementary? How do you align your visions with your brother? Can you maybe talk a little bit about working together with a sibling in a family business?
Yes, with my brother, it goes quite natural, I have to say. Mm-hmm. We're indeed characterized quite complementary, but I think the most important, we have an open and transparent communication. If something is bothering me or him, we just say it to each other. So we clear the open air, so nothing will stay in between or something. So we talk. We try to talk a lot. Sometimes we just don't take time enough to talk, mm-hmm. and we try now to do it more within a structured way, to have regular meetings like once a month at least, or even for lunch. Let's go to lunch together, and then we talk at the same time, and that's what I can see now what we're doing the last year. It's mainly by lunch. We see each other. We see each other every day, of course. But we try to get it more structured. But I think open and transparent communication. If something wrong, just say it. Also for small things, if I'm in a doubt, I don't know how to advance, I just go to him. How do you think this and this? Even if it's not related to production, mm-hmm. It's just general things. But everybody has got his own responsibilities, and we trust each other in its responsibilities. We're not checking the whole time. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. We leave each other alone. I sort of speak, and I think it goes quite well. Yeah.
And what about with your father at the Christmas table? Does it stick then still, or is this something that you leave for the day-to-day company business?
I have to say we eat and drink a lot at the Christmas table.
We have that in common as well, I think.
And that's a bit the culture of our company as well. If we go abroad to visit clients, we have a good meeting, and afterwards we have a good meal as well. It's important to combine that. But no, my mother takes care that we don't talk too much of our work during the family days, the holidays, or whenever. It sometimes, of course, happens. It's inevitable, I think. But we try to leave work at work as much as possible. And I think it's also important for ourselves, because we give a lot of ourselves during the working hours. And then it's also good for us to think of nothing really, mm-hmm. To just relax, be in the moment, be there with the children. I think it's important as well to charge, recharge the batteries.
Recharge and check out.
Yeah.
Okay, just to come back to the topic of Ariadne Innovation as well, about digitalization, sustainability, innovation in the textile industry, which are topics that are very important for us, and is also the reason why we invited you today to share a little bit insights about what you're doing in the company. We're reading about new websites, circular fabrics you're launching, also research projects you're participating in. It's a very clear direction. Was this already in place when you started in the company, or do you have the feeling that this is something that you as fourth generation also have pushed a little bit into the family business?
Well, we were doing already a lot of things, but more like the client asks, we will do it. Mm-hmm. We now try to do it more in a proactive way, to think what we think is important to do, to structure it as we think it should be done, because we see it's an increasing topic. It's getting more and more important, and it is quite very important. So we do it more in a proactive way. I would say we have a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and we try now to be more a big puzzle to make a whole. I think that's the main thing that changed, to do it more proactive.
And how are your partners or your markets replying to these initiatives? Is the feedback positive? You want to take action there? Do you, because Jan Maes also talked about engaging the whole ecosystem, working together. Is this something you feel as well, that you can connect to your customers about this, or was it sometimes difficult to get this implemented and launched in the market?
No, I think the positive mindset, the sustainable mindset, like I want to say, is there. So everybody knows the direction we have to go through, and everybody is on board. But it's just, I think, a matter of communication. We do already a lot, especially in Belgium. We have so strict rules, and what we used to saw more as a burden, as okay, we have to do that, it only costs money, we now see more as an opportunity. Okay, then we will take the lead, or at least try to take the lead and go for it. And I think that's a bit a different mindset. But like Jan Maes was suggesting, I think the most important indeed is we have to realize you cannot do it on your own. Mm-hmm. You need partners, you need to work together, not directly maybe in a horizontal way with competition, but first of all in a vertical direction, maybe with Centex Bell, or with clients, or with suppliers, or whatever, really people with a lot of experience in its own field. So yeah.
So you see the importance of an ecosystem like Ellie.Connect there, what we like to do, and how we could try to help the industry.
I try to check it every week a bit if there's here any nice things that could be involved, or it's just creating new habits. It's creating new also the culture, and that's a bit the thing. We have to communicate more, not only external but also internal, to that everybody know what's going on, to keep everybody on board, to create this culture.
Yes, and I think this transition from a closed culture towards a more open culture, whether it's internally or externally with stakeholders, this is definitely something in younger generations that you're seeing a lot more, definitely, because the closeness in our textile industry a lot sticks to let's keep the innovation or the mentality inside. But I do agree with you that collaboration will be very important for the future.
And also, I think the transparency part is getting more and more important, and that's related to those collaborations. Because if you're transparent, you don't have to be afraid. People will see what you're doing and will try to copy. I think, indeed, like you said, it used to be like that, but we're past that. If you're a real sustainable company, you don't have to worry to be transparent. It's just an advantage.
Yes, I do agree, because being sustainable and then transparent is linked to each other. And the younger consumers, if you look in different end products, are also, demanding more and more of transparency. And with all the greenwashing guidelines, I think as production companies, we need to be very secure about how we communicate and what we communicate. Okay, very interesting. We would like, as well as we do with Ellie.Connect, with the ecosystem, we're trying to bring together, people with an open mindset on sustainability, who sometimes stumble upon internal resistance in their company. So you already managed to take a lot of steps forward. Maybe you have some tips and tricks for our listeners, how to create this kind of revolution effect, if I can call it that, in a company, or just trying to bring them along with the vision. Can you maybe share some tricks about how you tackle this in your business?
Well, I think it just start with baby steps. Don't see it as a revolution, but more as an evolution. Just baby steps, and if you don't know where to begin, just begin. Take small steps, and I think once the ball gets rolling, it's like the snowball effect we say in Dutch, maybe in English as well. Once the ball gets rolling, it will come. It will come. If you take time for it, it will come. And I think you cannot get around it anymore. Facts and figures are there. The sustainable way is proven to be the better way. You get more efficient companies, and it's coming. I know also in financial institutes, they will check within a couple of years if you're a sustainable company, and you will get approved or disapproved for that. So it's there. It's you cannot. Yeah, it's there.
You just go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I always say, just put your boots on. Do the button on, as we know here in Flanders. Just
Exactly.
get started. I totally agree. Okay, thank you, Aurélie. With the Ellie Talks, we try to, inspire the Ellie.Connect ecosystem as well about sustainable growth, to connect you to right partners to help you during your journey. Is there anything that the community who is listening today or will be listening in the future could help you with? Do you have anything that you're looking for at the moment, or any questions you have for other peers in the same position? Anything that you think about? Now you have the stage to launch it in a very special way. So,
well, I'm looking for a marketing intern. So people who are interested and do an internship of marketing, because that's also, I think, how you see things if the evolution is going. Marketing was something, we're a B2B company, we don't need marketing. Okay, and you can do a lot of marketing, you have to do the smart marketing. We stay a B2B company, but we have to invest more in that, but in a smart way, of course. So I'm personally looking for a marketing intern.
Okay, we noted that down. Great, and definitely it works because thanks to my young team here, I'm doing a podcast for the first time in my life. So it really helps. Thank you for that. Before we finish, we have two small quotes we would like to propose to you. So I would like to know what you think about the first one. And the first quote is, in order to grow, family companies need to have the courage not only to professionalize their business, but also the organization.
Yes, I think as in a family company, the company has to come first. It's not always easy because emotions are there. You cannot avoid it, but you should put the company first. You should professionalize, but don't professionalize too much. What do I mean? Don't overstructure. Don't have too much meetings, because I think that's just the most important thing of a family company is its flexibility. Its way of handling things in a fast way. So yes, there should be a good certain of level of professionalism, but don't copy the big companies, because that's not my way it goes. It should go.
Okay, thank you. I think one of the characteristics of family businesses is also they're known for their resilience. I think in textiles we have already incurred a lot of that performance, but also view and focus on the long term, because you think further than just one generation. So what do you think about that? And definitely when it's related to sustainability as well, how do you feel about this long-term vision?
I think that's one of the most important positive things about a family company. It's the long-term thinking. I think that is the biggest problem we have with our government. They only think in terms of 4 to 5 years, and sustainable solutions take time. You cannot. Rome wasn't built in a day, and a day is certainly not 4 to 5 years when new elections are there. So I think in the long-term thinking is really the biggest added value, I think, of a family company.
Okay, I think this is definitely want to jot down for the politicians who might be listening as well to think as a family business on long term. And this way you can engage companies with you as well. I think to finish the talk, as we're talking about long-term family businesses, as you as a mother as well, making or having the next generation, how do you see yourself in, let's say about 20 years with your children? Will they be in the business? What is your dream for them and for yourself as an entrepreneur?
I think that's also the main motivation. If you can pass on the legend, as we say, you treat the company as your child, so my fourth child, and you hope to give an even better company to your children, and they do their thing with it. And there's no guidance, meaning every timeline has got its own opportunities and its own obstacles. What my father and grandfather challenged will be different challenges that what we will face. So every time it's different. But yeah, indeed, that would be the best thing, indeed.
So would you allow them to go in the same student organization we were?
Yes, definitely. I would recommend it even.
Okay, thank you. That actually brings us to the end of our very first podcast episode. Thank you, Aurélie Maes from Maes Mattress Ticking, for this very insightful talk.
Thank you.
It was amazing to have you as my first guest, hearing your interesting insights about the family business and view on the textile industry. Thank you to everyone listening. A very warm thank you as well to my team who is organizing all this. Hi. Thank you for doing this. I'm very much looking forward to the next episodes. We hope you as an audience were inspired by the first one, but definitely I would advise you to keep on hanging on there for the following podcasts as well. I would like to invite you all also to have a look on www.Ellie.Connect.com to see what inspiration, information and connections we can provide you in the textile business today and for the future. Thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy.
Bye.